Hi, it's Mr. H. Today we're going to learn to play line 4 of the level 5 rhythm sheet. First, I'll demonstrate. Ready? Go. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. If you were able to follow along with that, go ahead and try it yourself. And then also remember to try it on your instrument on one note. If you had trouble with that and you'd like a more detailed explanation, keep watching this video and we'll go over each measure one at a time. If we take a look at the first measure of line 4, which is right here, you might notice that it's the same as the last measure of line 2. So this measure and this measure are exactly the same. If we look at it in terms of downbeats and upbeats, we always start with the first eighth note or eighth rest is a down, and then everything after that just goes in order. So down, up, down, up. We could try it like this. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. We should always be looking at these lines of eighth notes and eighth rests and looking at them as if they were grouped in pairs of 2. So we're always trying to see these in terms of the groups of eighth notes, pairs of eighth notes. The first eighth note down, the second eighth note up. Once again, if we try this measure, it would go ta, 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 ta. Let's try this measure one more time with the metronome. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. And the last way that we can think about this is in 8/8 time. That's 8/8, meaning there are 8 beats in a measure and the eighth note gets 1 beat. So instead of thinking of it as down and ups, or just thinking everything is a down, the important thing is that we are paying attention to every eighth note beat when we do this. Let's try this measure and maybe just think of everything as a down. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. So pause the video here and practice it yourself. If you're ready to go on, we will move to the second measure. The second measure starts to get kind of interesting. Let me demonstrate it once for you. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. So the issue here is we have 3 notes tied together and 3 eighth notes tied together. And this is going to turn into dotted quarter eighth notes, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later. Let's just concentrate on playing this measure the right way. The beginning of the tie is a ta, and then it's ah, ah, just like if we were doing 3 quarter notes tied together. Then the last eighth note is a ta, and then if we keep going, it's ta, ah, ah, followed by a ta. So once again, see if you can follow along. Ready and go. Ta, 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 ta. The difficulty, I think, for people here when they're first learning this is that you have 3 notes connected, but the beat is based on just a down and an up. So we're holding out across the beat. Again, ta, ta. The second part of this measure is exactly the same as the first part of the measure. So it's a repeated rhythm. If we start just here, it's also ta, ta. When we put it all together, ta, 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 ta. And if we do that with the metronome, ta, 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 ta. As we said before, we could do this all as downs. And then we would be in 8/8 time, so we're treating each 8th note as a beat. It doesn't change the way we say it, it just changes the way we think it. So we can try it like that. Ta, 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 ta. So you could tap your finger on every 8th note if you like. If you can do tapping down and up, as we talked about previously, that would be more correct. If you need to practice this measure more, go ahead and work on it on your own. Slow it down if you need to. Don't forget to try it on your instrument. And if you're ready, we'll go on to measure 3. Measure 3 will perform exactly the same as measure 2. And we'll come back to that and show you how. But if we just look at measure 3, once again, looking at our beats, you'll notice that the tie goes across the beat. And while that can be confusing, if we just concentrate on how many 8th notes are in a quarter note, we don't have to worry about it too much. So there are 2 8th notes in a quarter note. That's down and up. This quarter note, I'm sorry, this 8th note is on a down, but it's tied, it's connected. 2 8th notes in a quarter note. And this, once again, for the quarter note is ta, because we're keeping track of both 8th notes. It's going to connect to the next beat, and then the final 8th note is there. And this is a repeated beat, so it's done exactly the same way. If you follow along, it'll go like this. Ready, start. Ta, 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 ta. As with the other one, we can just think of it all as downs. So we don't have to worry too much about the downs and ups. We can just think 2 downs for the quarter note, and then another down, but they're connected. We can try it like that. So you would tap this all, you're tapping your finger the same as the click. Ready, go. Ta, oops. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. And as I mentioned, this is identical to the measure before it. It's written differently, but it's really the same thing. In this measure here, we have 3 8th notes tied together. but 2/8 notes are the same as a quarter note. So these 2/8 notes here are the same as this quarter note. And then you have 1/8 note here and 1/8 note here. Altogether, you have 3/8 notes, and altogether this is equal to 3/8 notes connected. So these measures are performed exactly the same way. Let's try both measures together. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. If you need to practice that a little bit more, go ahead and pause the video and work that out. And if you're ready, we will move on to the fourth measure. The fourth measure combines rhythms that we've learned previously. Now, up to now, we've been looking at our rhythms one beat at a time. And that's important. But I'd also like to point out that this pattern of notes and rest is a 2-beat pattern. So we're starting to think of this in a little bit of a larger group. It doesn't change the downs and ups or how we count anything. But if we can group this in our mind into a larger idea, I think it's helpful. As we said before, these two rhythms are repeats of rhythms that we learned previously. So let's just try from here. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Let's look at this in comparison, the grouping of the two beats, like I had said. Let's just take a closer look at that in previous measures. So you notice that we had talked about this pattern being a repeat, and that's what that is. It's the same as this, and it's the same as this. So we're seeing the same rhythm repeated over and over, except that instead of a 1-beat rhythm, it's a 2-beat rhythm. Let's try this rhythm starting here. Ready and go. Ta, 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 ta. And that was, with our finger moving down and up, but we can also think of it all as downs, keeping in mind always that quarter notes have 2 downs, and then each 8th note is 1 down. Okay? So let's try this one with the metronome. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. And we're just keeping a steady 8th note beat going for this entire line. Now we'll back it up again, and I'd like to continue looking at this as a 2-measure group. So we'll zoom in on this one, and we're looking at 2 beats at a time now. So here's the first 2-beat group, and here is the second 2-beat group. Hopefully you're still able to see the quarter note beats in this, and that's why, by the way, these beams are here. So when you see 2/8 notes beamed together like this, you can instantly recognize where the beat is. The first eighth note of every beat, of every group, is showing you where the downbeat is. And just to review, the second eighth note is always on an upbeat. So everything we're talking about layers together here. We're just showing the same thing in a few different ways, hopefully to help you understand how it all fits together. If we ta and tap this rhythm, it's ta, 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 ta. What we really want to do is look how this fits the rest of the line that we've already talked about. So now, if you recall, this rhythm is performed exactly the same as this rhythm. And we're really doing the same thing over and over. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And this rhythm here with the rests actually goes pretty much the same way as the other ones. We're just substituting rests for long notes, but if we just wrote in the words for this, it would be ta, ta. And if we wrote in the words for this rhythm, it's ta, ta. But you'll notice that the T's, the tas, are happening at the same time. In this rhythm, it's a held out note, so it's ta, and in this rhythm there's rest, so it's ta, but the notes that you're doing, the ta part, is in the same exact spot. And since this rhythm and this rhythm are the same, it'll also go the same way. So you have ta, ta. So we should be noticing that all these rhythms are really very, very similar, if not exactly the same. Let's try and ta and tap this from the third line to the end. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Try that on your own and try it with your instrument as well. We'll back up and see if we can do the entire line here. Once again, just pointing out that we're considering a 2-beat rhythm. So this rhythm right here is the same as this rhythm here that we talked about at the end. And this right here is also a repeat of this. So we're starting to see things in larger groups. You can still look at it one note at a time, and honestly you still have to think of it one note at a time. But we also want to be aware of the larger group. Let's try this entire rhythm. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. And we'll do it just one more time. Get rid of all these markings and just give it one last try. Okay, ready and go. Ta, 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 ta. Now, I'm about to do that band director thing that all band directors do. I know I said we were going to do it one last time, but I'd actually like to do this one more final time. and just reviewing the idea of doing this in 8/8, where we're tapping on every eighth note, because that still works also. We're just trying to look at this in a bunch of different ways. So let's try it like that, and you can tap your finger on every click this time. Instead of thinking of down and up, you can just think down. Okay, ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, sorry, I know the pointer there kind of died off at the end. The important thing to remember is that quarter notes are 2 eighth notes, so they get 2 taps. Okay, hopefully this helped you out with this line. If you didn't quite get it yet, don't worry about it. It's a pretty complicated line of music, and it could take more than one practice session to figure this out. So feel free to rewind this video, start from the beginning, or practice individual measures. Keep it up, and I'll see you next time.